So again, I'll tell you that this is the definition. Production system is defined as the methods, procedure or arrangement which includes all functions required to accumulate the inputs, process or reprocess the inputs and deliver the marketable output. Like I told you that in case of the manufacturing of lace, so there are a number of activities. I just told you that potatoes will be bought, it will be washed, peeled, then it will be cut into pieces. It will get boiled, and then it can be fried, or spices will be added. Then means it will be packed into one package. So the sum total of all these activities called the production system. Next is the types of production systems. So there can be many types of production. A production manager will have to choose an appropriate method for his unit. The nature of product and the quantity to be produced should be taken into account while selecting a particular method. So there could be a wide variety of methods. For each of the product we are producing, we need to take in a number of operations which are altogether different from the operations means we are using for some other product. So the type of production will depend upon the type of product we are producing. So mainly the companies produce either they manufacture goods or they manufacture the services. So the kind of thing we are producing, the production system will be based on this. So broadly, the production system is categorized into two categories: intermittent production system and continuous production system, or it can also be termed as the non-intermittent production system. So first of all, we'll try to understand what is the difference between intermittent production system and the non-intermittent production system. Okay, so these intermittent production system and continuous production system are further classified into these categories. Intermittent production system could be any one of the project production flows, job production flows, or batch production flows. And similarly, continuous production system could be either one of the mass production flow and process production flow. So these are just the category of production systems. So broadly, there are two categories: intermittent production system and non-intermittent or continuous production system. Intermittent production system is further classified into three categories: project production, job production, and batch production. And similarly, continuous or non-intermittent production system is further classified into two categories: mass production system and the process production. So we'll discuss each one of these in much detail during this lecture. So intermittent production system. So intermittent means something that starts and stops at irregular intervals. ठीक है? रुक रुक के काम करना, ठीक है? That is called intermittent. So something gets continued for some time and then suddenly it gets stopped, and then abruptly we start with something else. This is called intermittent. So, in the words of Buffa, intermittent production situations are those where the facilities must be flexible enough to handle a variety of products and sizes, or where the basic nature of the activity imposes change of important characteristic of the input. So, intermittent production situation, in the words of Buffa, are those facilities that are flexible enough to produce a large variety of products. So because when we'll be producing a variety of products, that means we need to make changes into our production system from time to time. Because for creating one variety of product, the operations will be different. For creating the second variety of product, the means our production system will be consist of some other operations. So that's why we need a flexible system for creating the variety of products. So, intermittent production systems are those production systems that are based on the customer's order, and they are made specifically according to the order given by the customers. So there is no continuous flow, and these are not of same size. So some examples of intermittent production systems are Goldsmith and Taylor. So when Goldsmith they design jewelry, so they never get the order of same order. They never get the order of same jewelry from different customers. Every customer that gives them an order to make jewelry, their order is quite unique. They need a different kind of product. So Goldsmith has to make the product accordingly as per the demand of the customer, as per the specification, as per the details given by their customers, and they need to do this job on the time schedule given by the customer. Similarly, a tailor. So a tailor stitches a number of costumes for different consumers as per their orders, and they have each costume stitched or designed by the tailor will be different from the other costumes they have designed from some other customers. So they need to once they'll complete one order, then they'll start with stitching the next one. So their production process is not continuous, means they every time they finish stitching one cloth, then they start with cutting the next piece, then they start with the stitching the other piece. So that is the job of tailor. So this is an example of intermittent production system. Next, we'll be discussing the characteristics of intermittent production systems produced in small quantities. Because intermittent production system keeps on stopping and restarting, so we cannot produce the goods in larger quantities because our process is quite discontinuing type of process, which wherein we need to take a number of breaks in between. So means this particular production system is more relevant for producing those goods which are required to be produced in smaller quantities. Flow of production is not continuous, as I told you that the production system runs as per the orders received. So even if we keep on receiving the continuous orders, even then their flow of production will not be continuous, because after completing one order, they need to restart again for fulfilling the next order. It is flexible to suit production varieties. I told you that intermittent production systems are suitable for producing the large variety of products because we can make changes anytime into the production system. Workloads are generally unbalanced. Workloads are unbalanced because it depends upon the number of orders we receive. So let's say a gold jeweler in one day they have received two orders, and on the second day they have received no order. So their workload will vary accordingly because it is based on the orders of the customers. So we may not get regular orders on a regular interval. So the workloads are unbalanced. And general purpose machines are used. So herein for producing the variety of products, generalized machines will be used. So we cannot make use of any specialized machinery, or we may not make use of the automatic machinery because we need to make changes on a continuous basis. Sequence of operation changes as per design. So means the type of operations that we'll be taking in depends upon the job we have received for doing. So means the gold, like I gave you an example of tailor. So their sequence of operation will vary, will depend upon the type of design they had to stitch in. Highly skilled operators are required because we need to create these operators are required to perform a variety of operations, so they need to be skilled in their jobs. Production depends upon customers' orders. So here in the intermittent production system, the production strictly depends upon the orders given by the customers. Next is types of intermittent production systems.
Is screen visible? Yes, students, is screen visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The first characteristic is that no assurance of continuous demand. This means that as in job production system, the job is means the work is done strictly as per the orders placed by the customer. So it is not necessary that we'll get continuous orders from the customers. So there might be some time when we'll have overload of the orders from the customers, and there might be some time when we won't get any orders. So means in this type of production system, we just cannot assure the continuous demand from the customers. Second is versatile and skilled labor is required. As we had already discussed that every order placed by the customer will be unique in its own sense, or it will be different from the orders placed earlier. So we need people with various skills who can perform the variety of jobs to get the work done as per the demand of the customer. So means like I gave you an example of the job production systems is this type of system is adopted by the tailor or the goldsmith. Now every means if we have to stitch the clothes for women and the men, accordingly we need those people who can stitch the clothes for female, or we need a tailor who can stitch the clothes for men. So and this is meant by this versatile and skilled labor is required. We need people with varied skills. Whole process is taken as a single operation. So this is a feature of job production system, that all the job is done in a one go. So first of all, one order is finished, then it will start with the second order or the order of some other person, only after finishing the job at hand. So the whole job has to be finished within a single operation. Work is to be completed on each product before processing the next item. So whatever product is in process, first of all, the work has to be completed on that particular product. Only then the processing of the next product will start. A high unit cost of production because of the reason that the products are produced in small quantities, because here the goods will be produced as per the orders. There might be the case that in one order they will be producing 10 units, then they might be producing 30 units in the other. So you'll see there is no continuous means process going on. We have to stop the production depending upon the number of depending upon the frequency of orders received. So this will increase the cost of production, because we have to employ the people on a regular basis, but the work has to be done as per the demand. So if the demand will be low, so accordingly the cost will be high. High capital investment is required because we need to maintain ready inventory of inputs, because whenever we'll be receiving orders, accordingly we have to start the production process. And then so this will increase the capital investment. Next is the advantages of job production system. The first is the product is usually of high quality, because herein very few products will be manufactured in at a particular time, and it will be as per the specifications given by the order. So means the demand or the need or want of the consumer will be taken care of. So accordingly, the quality will be very high. Producer meet individual customer needs. So it is possible, this production system is quite flexible because herein we can adapt our production process as per the need of the individual customers, and we can fulfill their needs. Greater job satisfaction on the part of employees, as they'll be involved in all stages of production. So means the employees who are working in this type of job production system, they'll be working throughout until the finished product is in their hands. So as they'll be working in all stages of production, they'll be taking part in each and every activity of production, they'll feel more satisfied as they are performing diverse jobs. So their job is not routine kind of, their job is not monotonous. So they'll feel excited to perform their jobs and they'll feel more satisfied. Having advantages doesn't mean that the job production system is free of disadvantages. There are disadvantages too. The first disadvantage is that cost of producing one unit or job is high. So as compared to the continuous production system, this is one of the intermittent production systems where production keeps on stopping as per the flow of demand. Means as there will be no continuity in production, so the cost of production will go high. It is a labor intensive type of production system. We need to employ a lot of people for performing different works. We need people with various skills as the job will be different from each other. We'll be catering to the different need of customers. So we need a lot of people with different skills. So we can say this type of production system is a labor intensive system. Next is it requires investment in skills and training. So because we need people with various skills, so in case we couldn't find the people, we also need to train them in the latest skills. So it requires a lot of investment for training the people with the newer skills as required by the company. So now we are moving to the next production system, batch production system. So in batch production flows, the production schedule is decided according to specific orders or are based on the demand forecast. Here the production of items take place in lots or batches. So when goods are produced in a group of items, a group of identical items, that group of identical items is called a lot or a batch. So herein means instead of producing one item at a time, a number of items are produced in one go. The whole lot will go through one process and then the whole lot will be moved on to the second process. So a product is divided into different jobs and all jobs of one batch of production must be completed before starting the next batch of production. So I'll give you an example. This type of production system are more popular in case of manufacturing of biscuits or manufacturing of medicines. So one batch we are producing might not be same with the other batch we'll be producing later on. Let's say in a biscuit manufacturing company, first of all, let's say Britannia, it's manufacturing many variety of biscuits. So let's say Britannia 50/50. First of all, we want to produce a batch of Britannia 50/50. As the flavor is different, so it needs a different set of operations. So we'll produce, let's say, 1,000 units of 50/50 and then we'll produce some other, let's say, any other brand, any other biscuits. जो कैशियो वाले बिस्किट्स होते हैं, ब्रिटानिया गुड डे, वी वांट टू, देन वील प्रोड्यूस अ बैच ऑफ 1,000 biscuits of 1,000 packets of good day biscuits. So what will happen for producing biscuits? What we need, first of all, we need to make a dough. Then we'll make biscuits, cut biscuit shapes out of that. Then we'll bake. So these are different processes. So the whole batch we are producing, first of all, the dough will be made for that batch. Then it will cut into shapes. Okay? And then whole batch will go to the next step of baking. Then it will be packed all together in one go. So It is different from the job production system only in the sense that here, instead of producing one single item, we are producing in group of items. And that group of item is called batch. That's why it is called as batch production. So example of batch production flows include manufacturing of drugs and pharmaceuticals, or medium and heavy machineries, or might be the production of nuts and bolts. All these are examples of batch production system. Next is the characteristics of batch production systems. Again, because it is also an intermittent production system, there is no assurance of continuous demand. After producing one batch, we may need to stop until and unless the demand for the another batch comes. So this is all. This is also because being an intermittent production system, we just cannot assure continuity of demand. Next is the products are made and kept in stock until their demand arises in the market. So what happens is herein, because we are producing the units in a particular batch, let's say we have produced 1,000 biscuits, 1,000 packets of biscuits in one go, and we'll store it in our warehouses until and unless the demand arises for that. And we'll keep on sending the packets to the market as per the demand received. Next is the advantages of batch production system. The very first one is that making in batches reduces unit cost. So although the cost of batch production system will still be higher than the types of continuous production systems, that is mass production system or the process production system. Compared to them, here also the unit cost will be higher, but compared to job production system, the cost will be significantly reduced, because instead of producing fewer items, we are producing it in large numbers. It can still address specific customer needs, but for example, size, weight, style, because it is an intermittent production system, herein the possibility of flexibility is there. We can cater to the need of individual customers. We can fulfill their demands. It is possible. Use of specialist machinery and skills can increase output and productivity. In case of job production system, only general purpose machinery can be used, and we need people with high skills. But here, in case of batch production, specialist machineries can be used. That means we can make use of some automatic machinery for doing one process, for undertaking one process. We cannot make use of an automatic plant, but we can make use of some specialist machineries, and this will increase the output as well as the productivity. Next is the disadvantages of batch production systems. So as while after finishing the first batch and before starting the next batch, there will be some gap in between. So the time is lost switching between batches. Machinery may need to be put at rest. So obviously we just cannot avoid this. After completing the work of one batch, we need to stop in for some time so that machinery can be put on rest for a while before starting with the next batch. So obviously there is a time gap in between. Next is need to keep stocks of raw materials, and cash also investment in work in progress. So because the goods are produced in batches, so if we have to produce some other batch, we need the ready raw material with us. So the stock of raw material has to be kept ready within our warehouses, within our premises, and the work in progress is also more. After producing the goods, again they have to kept in store until and unless the demand arises for that. So it needs a lot of investment to keep the raw material as well as the finished products stored in the warehouses. So this is potentially demotivating for staff for the reason that herein people will be because the people who are doing work on one process, they'll be just repeatedly performing those activities only. The people will not be required to perform all the jobs related to one batch. So it will be potentially demotivating for themselves because because their work will become monotonous, their work is of repetitive nature. They need to keep on performing the same activities again and again. The last type of intermittent type of production system is project production systems. Project production system is such type of production systems wherein a large time-bound activity has to be undertaken. So in project production flows, company accepts a single complex order or contract. The order must be completed within a given period of time and at an estimated cost. The examples of project production systems include the road building, dams, construction of dams, etc. So means you might have noticed that these type of activities taken a lot of time. And at the time of starting these projects, the cost is estimated and their time for completion is also estimated. So these type of orders has to be finished within the stipulated time period and at the cost decided in advance. So these are the examples of project production flows. It includes construction of airports, dams, roads, buildings, or shipbuilding, etc. The characteristics of project production system are the requirement of resources is not same. It keep on varying. Generally, the resource requirement at the beginning is low. Then in mid of production, the requirement increases and finally it slows down when the project is near its completion phase. So during the different phases of the project completion, the requirement of the resources varies. So initially it's low and during the mid-term of the project completion, it rises because we need to invest in a lot of resources because there is a pressure of completing the project on time. So the project director may invest in additional resources to finish the work at fast pace. And finally, when the work is near completion, again, then the use of resources will be less. Many agencies are involved in the project and each agency performs specialized jobs. Here, coordination between agencies is important because all jobs are interrelated. So project has to be completed by a large team of the varied members. So there might be some groups who are responsible for doing a specific task and they are specialized in their jobs. So, but the coordinate, because means all of these teams, all of these sub teams, they are working for completion of one single task. There should be coordination between all of them. Delays take place in completion of projects due to its complexity and massiveness. So these means generally the projects have to be completed over a large time period. So due to the unforeseen circumstances, generally there are delays in completion of the projects. Like you might have seen that during this COVID-19, during the lockdown process, no work was taking place. So if construction was going on somewhere, it had to be stopped abruptly. So these type of events keep on happening in case of the project completion. So generally the project are delayed then in their stipulated time period. As routing and scheduling changes with fresh orders, proper inspection is required at each stage of production. So means the project production system is completely flexible Herein, we cannot do the routing and scheduling in advance as we do in case of continuous production system. Here, the schedules and route has to be changed from time to time as per the newer guidelines. So we need to keep a check on each stage of production. Systems. Continuous means something that operates constantly without any irregularities or frequent faults. So it's the opposite of the intermittent production system where production keeps on stopping in between. But here the production process will go on continuously without any stop. So the characteristics of continuous production systems are there is continuous flow of production. So that's why it is called as continuous production system. The products are standardized. So means in this kind of means these type of production systems are applicable only there where we need to produce only a one type of product. So because in this type of production system, we just cannot offer the variety of product. Standardized means the similar. So the products are homogeneous, identical in size, shape. So they are standardized. Produced as per the quality standard. So here the production process is not as per the specifications given by the customers. In advance, before starting the production, the quality standards are established and the products are produced by matching to the quality standards set in advance. This is produced in anticipation of demand. So the examples of continuous production system are these like Coke, जो भी हम products use करते हैं day to fast moving consumer goods and then durable goods, and all these are produced in anticipation of the demand. Anticipation of demand means foreseeing the future demand. So we just forecast the demand and accordingly we produce the goods in advance. Standardized routing sheets and schedules are designed because repetitive work has to be done. It goes on continuously. So in advance means at the time of the starting of the production system, a routing and scheduling sheet is prepared and that is followed afterwards without any changes. Then comes the advantages of continuous production system. So in this type of production systems, any deviation in quality can be detected at spot. So, and that can be taken care of on the spot only. It helps in reducing direct labor cost because we can make use of the automatic machinery. We can reduce the use of manual labor, and this will help in reducing the labor cost. Next is no need of work in progress. So what will happen in continuous production? The input will be put in the machinery and we'll receive the final finished goods in hand. So we just need not keep any stock of the work in progress. So in the product which has still to be finished, they'll never be there in continuous production system. Then since flow of work is simplified, there will be less need for control. So the whole workflow is continuous and we need not make any changes afterwards. So there is need for lesser control over the continuous production systems. Then there are the disadvantages of continuous production systems. The only disadvantage of continuous production system is the failure of one machine affects the flow of work at all machines, because generally the machinery is set in a sequence and the means, as I told you, that we just put in input in the machinery and the continuous processing is taken care of and we get the finished product in hand. If in between some machinery gets damaged, then the whole production process has to be stopped because of this. Continuous production system are of two types: mass production system and process production system. But before moving ahead, I would like to ask First of all, we'll do the mass production systems. So in mass production systems, company produces different types of products on a large scale and stock them in warehouses until they are demanded in the market. So in mass production system, a standardized goods is produced, and those goods are produced and then they are kept in warehouses until the demand is until the order is placed by the customers. The goods are produced either with the help of a single operation or uses a series of operations. So it depends from the product to product. Sometimes a production process will consist of a single operation, and sometimes it consists of a series of operations. Example of this mass production system is production of toothpaste, soaps, pens, etc. So all these type of goods are produced in large quantities, and their production process continuously keep on running and producing, and the goods are stored in warehouses, and as per the orders they are sent to the market. So these are the examples: cars, chocolate bars, and the electronic goods. All these are examples of the mass production system. So mass production system doesn't cater to the variety of products. So herein we'll produce the standardized goods. We can produce only standardized goods. So that's why we are able to produce in larger quantities. So the characteristics of mass production system, because this is a continuous production system, so there is continuous flow of production. However, this depends on the demand in the market. So in generally in this type of in the production of these type of items, the production process is continuous. But it again depends upon the demand in the market. If we are dealing in seasonal type of product, then maybe during the off season, the means the pace of work is reduced somewhat. We might not produce to the fullest of the capacity. So in during the peak season, we can utilize 100% of our capacity, and during off season we can utilize 70 to 80% of our capacity. That depends on the demand in the market. Here there is a limited work in progress, as we had already discussed that in continuous production system, we just put in the inputs and get the finished product in hand afterwards. So generally the work goes in sequence, and so there is no need to keep work in progress. Supervision is quite easy because only few instructions are required. So because the work is repetitive, and the person who are doing their job, they know what they need to check in. Even the supervisors, they are well aware of what they need to look in. The material handling is done mostly by machines, that is conveyors and automatic transfer machines. So I already told you that in continuous production system, generally automatic machineries are used, and there is a very less use of manual labor. So even for material handling, the manual labor is very less, and instead of using the manual labor for material handling, the automatic conveyor belts are used, or the automatic transfer machines are used that keeps on transferring the materials from one place to from one machine to the another machines. The flow of material is continuous, and there is little or no queuing at any stage of production. So there is no need to keep the product in queue. Rather, it keeps on moving continuously because the production process goes on continuously. Similarly, the movement of material is also continuous. Next is the advantages of mass production. The labor costs are usually lower because the quantity produced will be much higher as compared to the intermittent production systems. So the labor cost will be divided among the vast number of units. So the per unit cost of labor will be quite less as compared to the intermittent production systems. Materials can be purchased in large quantities. So they are often cheaper because the production process is continuous. So we just need to keep we just need to buy the raw materials in large quantities. So this will means we can place the order of larger quantity in one go, and this way we can get the quantity discount from our suppliers. So that's why it will make the raw material cheaper. Large number of goods can be produced, okay, because the production goes on continuously. So that's why we can produce the goods in larger quantities. Next is the disadvantages of mass production system. So the machinery, because we are using is automatic, or it is the sophisticated machinery. So machinery is quite expensive to buy. So it is expensive to set up the mass production systems. Workers are not very motivated since their work is very repetitive. So in all the continuous production system, the workers will be engaged in doing the repetitive work. So after some time period, they'll get demotivated. They might not have any interest in doing because there is nothing new to do for themselves. It is not very flexible as a production line is difficult to adapt. Generally, once the machines are set in the sequence, so later on it will be very difficult to change the sequence because it will be quite a costly affair. As I told you that the machinery we use in continuous production system is quite expensive. So once the layout is set up, later on that layout cannot be changed. So this is an inflexible type of production system. So once it is set up, later on no changes can be made. If one part of the line breaks, the whole production process will have to stop until it is repaired. So generally in these type of production systems, the work goes on continuously. So means from one machine, it is automatically passed on to the next and so on. So if in between some machinery gets stopped, then the whole production process has to be stopped until it is repaired again. Second type of continuous production system is the process production systems. Here the production system is divided into different processes. A single product is produced and stocked in warehouses until it is demanded in the market. So here also variety cannot be produced. The flexibility of these plants is almost zero because only one product can be produced. The examples of process production systems are cement manufacturing, oil refineries. So like ऑयल रिफाइनरी में सबसे पहले जैसे आप ड्रिलिंग करते हो ऑयल की, ठीक है, दैट इज वन प्रोसेस. उसके बाद उसका जो क्लीन किया जाएगा दैट इज सेकेंड प्रोसेस. So that is meant by the process production systems. The work is divided into different processes, and after performing one process on one product, the second process will be performed, but only single product is produced. So examples of these include steel, cement manufacturing, paper manufacturing, sugar manufacturing, etc. So these are another examples: oil refining, cement, etc. So characteristics of process production system are that there is a highly mechanized system for handling materials. Conveyors and automatic transfer machines are used to move the materials from one stage to another. So in all these the examples we have given, paper manufacturing or cement manufacturing or oil refinery, so generally these are the automatic plants wherein means conveyor and automatic transfer machines are used to move the material from one stage of production to the another stage of production. Low skilled labors or the skilled technicians are required. So labor need not to be skilled, they can be trained, because we need not the work has to be done with the machines, sophisticated machines. They just need to train about how to operate on these machines, and they can be easily trained in such a work. there is very less work in progress because material flow is continuous. So similar to the mass production system, here also there will be very less work in progress because the material flow from one process to another process is continuous. The production planning and scheduling can be decided well in advance. So the whole production planning can be decided at the time of setting up the plant, and afterwards means if some changes are required, that can be made, but otherwise there is no need to change it later on, because the same sequence will be followed later on. The full production system is designed to produce only one specific type of item. So this type of the whole plant is set up to produce only a single item. That is, if it is a steel plant, then only steel will be produced. If it is an oil refinery, only oil will be refined at that particular plant. No other item can be produced there. Advantages that processes are normally automated, and this results in the reduced unit cost. So we can produce large quantities because generally single items is produced and that can be produced continuously. So large quantity of same item can be produced with the help of process production systems. These type of production system is ideal for products which has to be of a consistent quality. Wherein we need a consistent quality, therein we can make use of the process production systems. Then there are some disadvantages as the automatic machineries are used. So this requires a heavy investment in process design and production, or in setting up the production equipment or facilities, because like you can easily judge that we need a lot of investment for setting up an oil refinery, because the whole machines and equipment will be quite costly. It is difficult and disruptive if the production process has to be stopped, because the same, if for some reasons the production has to be stopped, this particular plant cannot be used for producing some other items, it will be of waste. Little opportunity to make different versions of the product. So variety cannot be produced. Even the variants of the same item cannot be produced. It can be used to produce only single item.